record on this computer. Awesome. Okay, so let me see here if we can go full screen with this bad boy. You bad boys. Play. Wonderful. All right, everybody can still see my slides, right? Sometimes it gets weird when I do this. Okay, cool. So, like I said to you guys, there was a lot of information that we were given at leadership, and I had to take some time to like digest it, and I'm still looking through things slowly. And I know in the past when we've gone to these events and stuff, we've come back and we like just brain dump all this crap on you. And then it basically just goes into like an area where nobody ever does anything with it, right? Because it was too much at once and overwhelming. And so I wanted to do it differently this time and kind of sprinkle it out to you guys. So that was like the little live call that I did in the team page last week. I don't know if you watched it, but if you didn't, go back. And that one was all about getting your people into Success Club. And this one is about advancing your people to Diamond. First of all, how cute is he? He's just snuggle with me. This one's about advancing your coaches to Diamond. And I know that that's a question that a lot of people have. Like, okay, great. I have this builder now. Like, what do I do with them? And so we're going to talk about that. And what I did was I took Holly Hillier and Emily Faber's talk. I took my notes on it. I put this together and sprinkled in some Joan in there too for you. So it's not just their presentation, because I just felt like there were things that needed to be added and things that really didn't apply to us. So I'm going to go through them. All right. First of all, congrats to Meg Lyon because she's slaying it with SC12 right now. Nice job. I think that that's amazing way to run and lead the team. I think that that's incredible. I don't know what today is. Today is the 22nd. You guys, tomorrow is October 23rd, which marks the day that I got my very first paycheck from Beachbody 5 years ago. So how crazy is that? That's pretty nutballs. All right, and then those in Success Club, Mariah kicking it with 10, Jen with 8, and she's got 6 under Matt. So basically, I don't even know what those numbers are. I'm really bad at math. Sam with 8, Renee with 8, Katie with 8, myself with 6, Jody with 6, and Ed with 6. So that's amazing. Nice job, everyone. Keep going. You guys, there's still time to make Success Club, and I have every faith in the world that you can do it. You have all the tools at your access. Keep in mind that I know that the Shift Shop group started, but a couple of things that are working really in your favor is that this week it's just 15-minute workouts that are kind of like the pre-workout workout. So you can tell people it's not too late. You can still sign up today. You can still get in the group. We're not even following a nutrition plan yet. You can still be in this group with Chris being your leader and go into day 1 with us, just like everybody else is, with the nutrition plan and everything like that. So keep that in mind. It's not too late. So still use that to your advantage. Talk about the fact that you know, what you felt about the first video that he put up. I know I got a message from Kat last night that she was having like an emotional response to it. I watched it this morning and teared up. Like, he shared some really cute nuggets. I don't know if you guys saw today, but I went on Instagram stories and I just took like 2 little snippets from his video and shared them. And people were like stoked about that. And like then started inquiring with me about joining. I also put up a post that said it wasn't too late, and people have messaged me today. I've had people who I followed up with yesterday saying last call, messaging me today asking me if it's too late. So it's not too late. So keep that out, like keep saying that to people, because you can get them in and they're still going to get results, even if they just start on day 1 as if they were starting the real Shift Shop like on day 1, right? Which starts next Monday. So you still have time to add people in there. So use that to your advantage. All right, let's start this call. So one of the things that I have taught from the beginning of time is to sign everybody as a discount coach. Now, this is what I did from the second I started coaching, because I knew that my first goal was to go Emerald. So I was like, okay, how do I go Emerald if I don't have anybody that actually wants to like work this business? I'll sign them as coaches, but for the discount. Now, those people may turn into builders, they may not, but you are going to have an easier time turning them into a builder immediately if you immediately sign them as a coach, okay? So they don't need to know all of the details. When I'm signing somebody up, I don't tell them I'm signing them as a coach. I don't tell them I'm signing them as a discount coach. I literally, and I don't feel like that's shady, and I don't feel like I'm holding things back from them. I feel like I'm doing them a solid favor, because they're going to love the program. They're going to love the products. They're going to get a discount on them if they want to continue on it without having to pay $40 to become a coach, then get that money reimbursed in 48 hours and go through all of that hassle when they could just be set up that way in the first place. And if they don't, they can cancel, right? So I just send them the link as a coach, and then I say, I just signed you up as a coach. I did it so that you can get the awesome 25% discount moving forward. If you have any questions while you're signing up, let me know. That's all I say. I don't overcomplicate it. I don't say like, oh, because it's going to give you X amount of dollars off of your Shakeology. So when your auto ship comes in next week, you're going to have this cost, but then you get cheaper shipping. So I know that it's a $16 charge. Don't do that, you guys. You are literally overcomplicating it, and somebody's going to get really overwhelmed. And then when they're overwhelmed, that's when they're going to be like, oh, no, I don't want to be signed up as a coach, because like that just sounds like a lot, right? It sounds like a lot to keep track of, a lot to deal with. They don't know what they're doing. So you as their coach just needs to be very, very confident in your recommendation. I'm signing you this way. It makes the most sense. You're going to save money moving forward. If you don't want a coach or you're not in love with everything, we can cancel you. You're not locked into anything. That's all you say. And then people go, okay, good, right? So now they're signed up as a coach. I talked about that welcome email the other day. The first thing I want you to do, whether you've talked to them about coaching or not, is send that welcome email to them. When they get it, it's going to introduce them to the team. It's immediately going to say, text me, and then you can follow those text prompts. I did add those text prompts into the file section, so those are there for you as well. But basically, it's just going to say, awesome, I'm so glad that you received the email. Did you watch that first video where it asked you what kind of coach you want to be, right? And so with that, you can go through and say, did you want to be a discount coach? Did you want to be a hobby coach? Did you want to be a builder and make 6 figures like me, or whatever you want to say? So you can do it that way. Ask them if they want to post. That is something that has worked for me from the beginning of time. Meg is a prime example of that. Meg signed up as a coach just for the discount to get started. I don't even know if she really realized that she signed it up as a coach, period. And then I was like, why don't you throw a post up, and if any of your friends want to join you, you can make your money back. She threw up a post. She made $150 in her first week. Guys, if that doesn't sell somebody on being a coach, that they put up one post on social and then they have a few friends in the group with them and they earned money that easily, like that's like a no-brainer way of signing someone up as a coach, because then they're like, oh, well, if I want to make more money, all I have to do is put up another post and talk to more people. You get an accidental coach that way. And then you have somebody looking at you going like, okay, maybe I do want to do this coaching thing, even though you haven't talked to them about coaching. So those are 2 really easy ways to sign them up as a coach and get them building. Give them a message to send, right? Help them with their post. So if they're like, well, yeah, sure, I just wouldn't know what to say or what to do. That's as a coach where you reassure them. Again, you have that confidence for them while they don't. Okay, awesome. I can help you put this together. Let me tell you exactly how I would draft it out. And you just say, I would say, blah, 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 make a really boring post and say, fill in some of the blanks and make it a little bit more detailed about yourself and send it back to me. And then once you post it, I will help you through those messages. Or if they don't want to put a post up, maybe that frightens them a little bit. Ask them if they have, Georgia, you're caught in my cord, not right now. Ask them if they have, 10 to 20 friends that they'd be willing to send a quick message to. Have that message say, that's also in the text replacement, you guys, that I put in the file section, just so you have that. But have them just say something like, dude, I'm joining this freaking group. I'm going to crush it. This is what I want to get for goals. It'd be so much better if you were in there with me and we could hold each other accountable. It doesn't have to be a weird message. It could be to their besties. It could be to, their cousin, their aunt, their friend, their coworker, whatever. But then they have a message out to people, and then they're going to get that back. So now you've got them messaging people and possibly getting somebody in the group with them. Again, getting them those early wins. The other thing is to encourage them to share from day one of their journey. So you can even say to them, I know you didn't sign up to coach, but I always find that it holds me a lot more accountable if I'm sharing what I'm doing on social. I don't mean that you have to go on there and share pictures of you in your sports bra. I don't think you have to go on there and do like a before and after right now, but just to let you know, sometimes when you get out there and you just share with family and friends what you're doing by posting on social, and, kind of following your journey, it helps you so that you're not going to mess up, because it's almost like crossing off those days on the calendar. So you're going to do it because somebody might message you and say, hey, day 4, I didn't see you post that you did your workout today. Are you still sticking with it? Not only that, this turns it into somebody seeing their journey, right? And then they want to message them and ask them what they're doing, or they start commenting on their stuff or liking their stuff. And then you can say to this person, I know that we haven't talked about coaching, but I did, and I know that you've been posting about your workouts and stuff lately. I did see you've got several people commenting on it and liking it. Have you ever considered reaching out to them and asking them if they'd like to join you? Okay? Really, really easy. Don't wait to talk about coaching. Okay. When you think about the biggest change in your life and what has created the biggest change in your life, typically it's not the workout program. It's what this coaching opportunity has done for you. So do not hold that back from others. You have to share about coaching in order to recruit people. You can't just share about challengers or challenges, because then you're just recruiting people who want to join your fit club. And then of course you're like, oh, scared to talk to them until they've done their program and all of that jazz. And you're missing out on an opportunity to create builders early. So that was a big thing that Holly and Emily actually talked about, was that they don't just look for challengers and turn them into coaches, which is what much of the network has been taught. They do it at the same time. You guys, that's what I've taught this team from the beginning. Sign them as discount coaches and try to get them coaching immediately. You do not have to have results in order to become a coach. So obliterate this objection. I may want to coach, but I want to wait until I get results from my first program. How many people hear that? I've heard that so many times. Let me get through this first few weeks. Let me get through, whatever. Guys, the way to do this, wait, I think my things are out of, there we go. They're out of order. Have the confidence to say, what if I had waited till I was perfectly fit or had completed my program? For instance, what if I had waited to share my results with 80-day obsession until I was completely done? Like, you never even knew I was doing it. And then all of a sudden I shared, oh, look at me. I'm, 20 pounds lighter and I feel awesome. Would have you still trusted me? Would you sign up with me? Would have you followed me? Would you related to me? Like, would you felt like you could have done it? You probably wouldn't be messaging me right now. The reason people follow me, the reason people message me, the reason people have trust in me and confidence in me is because they saw the journey. I didn't just show up like that perfect coach that looked like they just have been fit their whole lives. I shared the struggles and the journeys in between. And that's why they have the trust to sign up with you. I was like, trust me, it is your best asset to be able to share your journey now and have people watch you do it. So that's the other point. Be an awesome challenger on social media. Think about when you did your best in this business. My guess is it's probably you were following a program to a T and you were probably showing up on social media daily as if it was your challenge group, and you were probably posting your before and afters every Sunday, right? Ooh, somebody is unmuted and I just got really loud when it echoed. That was weird. So, remember that and treat your social media as if you would treat a challenge group. Share when you're struggling. Share your photos. Talk about what's going on with you. Talk about what you're eating. Talk about your group. Share all of those things. And I can guarantee many of you who are in here who did 80-day, I remember back when you were doing that your business was exploding. We had the most people in Success Club and the highest numbers in Success Club that we've ever had. And it was because you were being a good challenger. So by being a good challenger, you're going to help attract people to your business that you can then go back and do those steps that I just said, right? Where you can go and you can send them up as the coach and do all of that. It's something we're all really good at, you guys, is showing up and doing this. So it's really easy. It's just show up and do that on social, because not only are you going to attract people, but you're also going to be teaching them how to post. Those people who are watching you are watching how you're posting. So you're going to teach these people that you've now signed up how they show up on social media by being that example and sharing what you're doing on a daily basis. All right. So now you've set that expectation. You want to set the coaching expectations. So like if we don't post about coaching, we're not going to recruit builders. So it's great that we're posting about our transformations, but like, what about our personal transformation within our businesses, right? What about, how those who attended Super Saturday, you all heard Danielle say that if you looked at her pound for pound, she doesn't really have a crazy, transformation. But if you looked at her, who she is today compared to who she was then, she has a crazy transformation. So that's something that you want to show. You want to show how this business is transforming you personally. You want to talk about how you are building a real business. Don't talk about it like it's a hobby. Don't talk about how it's like just this little side gig that you do that makes you happy. Talk about it as if it's really a business, because then you're going to attract people who really want to work a business or own a business, right? Set the expectation of hard work, because you guys do not want to attract people who think that this is just quick money. You don't want to attract people who don't want to put the effort in. You want to attract people into your business that want to run with you. And so you have to set that expectation up that you're running and that this is work. And then you can also demonstrate the income potential. So you have to talk about money. And I know that money is sometimes scary, but you guys, I can tell you that the most of the people that I've signed in this business who became coaches, money was probably the number one reason that they signed up to actually coach. So share your journey with your business. Share your financial goals. You know, what is your financial goal? Are you trying to get out of debt? Are you trying to save up money to buy a house? Do you want to travel more? Are you trying to retire your spouse? Are you trying to retire yourself? Like, what is it financially that you are working to achieve? And share it all the time on your social media. It's not just about what you have currently, you guys. It's about where you want to go. And when you share where you want to go, other people want to jump on that train with you, because they can start seeing it too. They can start seeing it happen. You can start sharing those small wins as you're getting there. What sacrifices are you making, or did you make, to get to where you are in your business? Talk about those, right? Again, it's setting that expectation with this person that you're signing up, so that then they do sign up and they don't just make like $100,000 in their first like week of coaching, that they're like, okay, like fine with it, because they know, they saw your journey, right? So did you sacrifice sleep? Did you sacrifice nights out, dinners out? What did you sacrifice to get to where you are now? Or what are you sacrificing currently, so that you can build towards that financial goal or that why that you're talking about? And how is your daily grind? Like, what are you doing on a daily basis to work your business? Where are you fitting it in? How are you making it work for your life and your schedule? Like Renee, I see you on here right now, and I see you message in the leaders group, and you tell us how you're fitting it into your nurse's schedule, right? Or that you're fitting it in while being a mom. And that's great that you're sharing it with us, but are you sharing it on your social? Because that, and I'm only using her as an example because I know that she's told us about her grind. So I want her to share that grind with others, right? I know Kat has taken her computer into the closet at the dental office. Like, I know that, like, I'm just being honest. I know these things. Like, Jess Langella is not on the team anymore, but she used to sneak and sit in the bathroom while she was in the ER as a nurse, like, to get her business done. Those are things that we need to share and we need to talk about. One thing I will say, that a couple of the coaches that I've started recently following, just because they presented at the leadership conference, so I just wanted to check out what they were doing for a little bit and then unfollow, is that they do a really good job of sharing that I'm trying to get my work hour in right now, and the baby is supposed to be down napping, but the baby isn't napping, and you can hear the baby screaming while they're trying to get their shit done. And they're like, but that's fine. The baby's going to scream for another 10 minutes because this is important, and why, or people saying that they are working in the corporate world and they're taking their lunch break to do their work instead of going out with friends, or that they're missing sleep, right? Like, usually I used to go to bed at this time, but now I'm hustling so that I can get this. Those are the sorts of things that you guys should be sharing, that we all should be sharing on social media, so that we're showing that this is a legit business. You have to put in legit time. You have to be consistent. It doesn't mean that it's not enjoyable and you don't love it, but so that you are attracting those other people who are willing to put in the work for what they want, and not just think that they can just show up, post some sweaty selfies, and become a six-figure earner. Because those are the people that you're going to sign up, that when they start doing stuff and realize it's a little bit more work, or things start getting hard, that they just drop off and do nothing. And that's not the kind of coach that we want to recruit, right? We want to recruit coaches that are going to run with this with us. And then talk about your why all the time. I know we always say share your why on social. Share your why. Katie, I believe, has been doing a really great job of this lately. She's been sharing about how, she misses her niece and nephew and she wants to be close to them. And that's a big reason why she started this business. I think I saw a post the other day about that. That was a really great post. That's sharing her why. That is putting some feeling and emotion behind the actions that she's taking, even if these actions sometimes mean that she goes to work for a full day and then comes home and puts in a full day's work at night. Okay. And that's going to attract somebody else like her who's willing to hustle to get what they want. So talk about what that success means to you. You can reiterate this in your it obviously on your social. You can reiterate it in your messages when you're talking to people directly. You can, reiterate it in sneak peeks, whatever you want to do, but you need to get it out there. And then tell people. You can even create posts that say, I want to work with other people who want to make six figures in this business. That doesn't mean that you have to be making six figures right now. But if you're saying that, again, you're looking for somebody who wants to run with this. And that's what you're going to start attracting. Share your income. I just talked about it. So I know. Talk about money. Single biggest way I recruit builders is by talking about money. Hold on one second. My computer screen froze for a second. Talk about how much income you're making currently. Talk about what you had to do to get to that income. Talk about if you had to make sacrifices to get to that income. Talk about the income that others are making on the team. What do they do? What sacrifices have they made? What is their life like? How are they trying to fit this hustle and grind into their life so that they can do what they want and achieve their why? You can talk about income in a lot of different ways. You can talk about maybe you set a goal, right? To buy like a really cool purse or to buy a car or whatever. And you're talking about the money that you've put aside so far for that. Maybe you start talking about the debt that you've started paying off on a credit card bill. Maybe you start talking about how this income that you just made extra this week from doing this business is going to get you X, Y, and Z or help with this. Okay. You need to start talking about that. And also people on your team. There's a reason we started posting every Thursday how much money people are making. It's so that you guys can take it and share it. And so that you can see it. All right, so let's see what else. I'm going to share something with you. So I took some time before we jumped on here to calculate out some numbers for you guys. So in 2013, I worked this business for 3 months and I made $3,700, which basically meant that I averaged a little bit over $1,000 a month as a brand new coach. Now, $1,000 a month, not a crazy amount of money, but that was my first 3 months of coaching. So when I tell somebody, how much money can you expect to make, right? I can say to them, well, you could make $1,000 a month, but I'll tell you what I did to get there. And then I can say to them, I sacrificed TV time. I sacrificed happy hours. I sacrificed sleep. Instead of going to lunch with my coworkers, I sat at my desk. I set a schedule for myself and made sure that I was posting to social at least 3 times a day and that I was reaching out to as many people as I could before I went to sleep at night and that I was making a minimum of Success Club 5 every single month, right? So I can turn around and I can say to somebody, if that's what you want to make, that's what you have to do. In 2014, I made in my full year, $42,804. So my very first full 12 months of coaching, I matched my entire salary from my job that I was working. Now keep in mind, for the first 6 months of that 2014, I was still working full time. So I can tell somebody that I was putting in X amount of hours. This is what I had to do to get there. Also, I went 5-star and signed up my second business center. Right? So I can look at that and I can tell people that. Then in 2015, it went up again. And so in 2015, which was my second full year of coaching, I made 75 grand. Again, as a 5-star. And I can tell you that I was no longer working the full-time job, but I was putting 8 hours a day at least into my business. And then in 2016, my third full year of coaching, I made a 6-figure income. So I can tell people what I did in each bracket to get there, what my activities were, what I was doing, what I sacrificed, how much time I took, what my rank was, all of that jazz. So I can turn around and tell somebody, if your goal is to make 6 figures within 3 years, you need to hustle. This is what my schedule looked like. This is what I was doing. This is how many people I signed. This was my average Success Club numbers. This is what I did and didn't do. This is how many hours I put in. Now, you guys can all see 2017 was a rough year. I don't know if you can see. I can't move my little people over here. 2017 was a rough year, but here's what I think is hysterical. In a very, very, very rough year for the business, I still made $93,000, So like every other year, my income went up. And in the year that I felt my most terrible, that the volume was down, we never, ever, ever hit a 10-star bonus. We only hit 1 bonus that was 5-star. The rest of them were 2-star because everybody else on my team had fallen. That was the income that I need. But I can talk to somebody about that too and say, hey, you know what? Once you create this, if you're putting in work, even during the tough times, you're still going to make an amazing income. And then this year so far, I've made $115,000. I still have 3 more months to go. So averaging it out, that would be 160K this year. So I can tell you what I've done differently this time too. And I can dig into those things. Why am I sharing all this with you? I'm sharing this with you because I think it's important, no matter where you're at in the business, to know that number one, you can make a good income, and number two, what it takes to get there. And if you're signing somebody who wants something, you need to tell them where you are at certain places in your business so they can know what to shoot for. All right, share your why. I already told you this. Share it all the time. Share it with everybody. Share it in the team page. Share it with your people. Share it everywhere. That's how you get people on your train. And then set expectations with these people as well. So during their Get Started Right call, tell them their goals. Don't ask them their goals. Tell them their business goals. I just say, when I got started, my coach said, if you want to be successful, you're always going to make Success Club and you're always going to rank advanced. So tell them that. And then when you say, I think that your first goal should be that you help 3 people and get them set up the same exact way you just did. Again, I mentioned that on the call the other day, making it not difficult, not saying, okay, you need to set up 3 people, and every time you sell a challenge pack, that's 2 points, and you should sign them as a coach because that means that you're going to rank advance and yada, yada, yada. You just say you're going to sign 3 people the exact same way you just did. And then they just automatically assume, okay, I got this challenge pack set up as a coach, and then they go and sign them, right? And you're going to go Emerald in 24 hours, and you're going to go into Diamond in 90 days. Now, when you're saying Emerald in 24 hours, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to go Emerald in 24 hours, but what that does do is put in their mind that going Emerald's pretty easy, right? You can do it in 24 hours, and that's the expectation that most have, then it's something that's very doable. And then you ask them what their goals are, and I can guarantee you almost every time they're going to turn around and they're just going to reiterate what you just said. Well, I'm going to help 3 people. I'm going to go Emerald in 24 hours, and I guess Diamond in 90 days. All right, so you've attracted them, you've recruited them, you've set the expectations. Now what? So put them in a 24-hour to Emerald call. 30 minutes. Doesn't have to be long. I think that as a team, we could probably put a sign-up sheet and we could start doing it that way and just have bi-weekly 30-minute jump on 24-hour to Emerald calls. And you guys were part of Nicolette's. Most of you were part of Nicolette's. And if you weren't, I believe I can share the recording of that in our team page and people can watch that over again. But you can literally just talk to them about how you go Emerald, the U+2 rule, why that's important, why it's important to sign your spouse, the benefits of that extra income and what that does. Team cycle bonus. You can talk about the leads program when they make Success Club and what that does for them. And then you can tell them, you know what, we're going to recognize the crap out of you when you go Emerald. We're going to celebrate you in the team page. We're going to shout you out on our social media platforms. And just remember that, like when you went Emerald for the first time, like now, like most of us who are Diamond, Star Diamond, above, etc., we're like, yeah, Emerald, like you can do that like in a day or you can do that in an hour, right? But think about when you did Emerald, you were pretty freaking proud of yourself, right? Like you just moved up a rung in your business. You just signed 2 coaches. That's pretty freaking phenomenal. And so we don't want to forget that. We want to make it seem like it's the super cool thing to do and it's super easy and it's how you get your business started. And we're going to celebrate you so hard when you do it. And then at the end of that call, this was a tip from Emily and them. They always just say, when we get off this call, message me your 2 people that you're going to sign up. And so if there's 10 people on the call, she says, you know what, I expect 10 messages in my inbox because there's 10 people on here right now. And it doesn't matter whether they're your coaches or not, and you don't have to respond to them, but you're just telling them, I want 2 people that you're signing up now. And then also another tip was get out and invite your downline too, not just your personally sponsored coaches. It's really easy to write somebody in your downline and say, hey, I want to help you out. There's this call happening tonight. Not sure if you're interested. It's just 30-minute call on how to go Emerald in your business. And so you can make some money. Any interest in me adding you? So that's another way that you can get some more people building kind of by accident. Diamond push groups, guys. We've done these since the beginning. And I think that we kind of got away from groups because all of a sudden we're like, oh my God, I've got all these groups going on. And like, so we always go through these waves where we're like training groups. And then we're like, no training groups. And then we're like training groups. And then like no training groups because we get like really ecstatic and we're like, let's train on this and this and this and this and this. And then we're like, we train too much or we have too many groups going on. And then we don't do anything. So I would say that a 4-week push group every quarter is probably enough. So a 4-week push group to the end of the quarter with those that are closest to diamond. And that way it sets it up so it's really just 4 big groups. You run it with the leaders on the team. Everybody has their part. You can just go live in there like 3 days a week and then put some content in there and make it so these folks have that little push and that thing that they need in order to get to diamond. Focus on the basics, Success Club, recruiting, social, like how to use it, going emerald again and again and again, and then have people teaming up in pods so there's that accountability, requiring trackers each week, requiring their diamond chart to see where they're at, making them draw that out. That was such a big piece of the puzzle for me in the beginning, was knowing what I had so I knew what I needed and then trying to plan ahead for that. I can tell you even this month, it's not in a circle, but I have it all written right here on the left side of my page. And what it is that I need more people in Success Club in order for my elite points to go through, right? So that I looked and I'm like, okay, well, we need 3 under this person, 3 under this person, 3 under this person, 2 under that person, 3 under that person. All right, who do they have so far? Who are they talking to next? Let's fill those names in. And that's how I keep track of it, even for that. So it's like and then if that person comes back and says no, or like didn't go through with their enroller, you're like, okay, who's next? Who's next? And you always keep track of that. All right, and then how do you maintain diamonds? You let them know, first of all, that they've been working the business for 3 months. And yes, they went diamond, but that does not mean that they should be considering like, oh my God, I've made it, or that they're going to have a huge income from now on, or any of those expectations. Diamond is not the end all be all. Diamond is your training zone. Diamond is what you do to train yourself on how to train your coaches. When you get to diamond, then you know how to go diamond. So that means that you can turn around and you can help other people. So it's basically like your first 3 months of this business was your schooling, right? And now it's time to go and teach others how to do that too. And since you've done it, you know how to do it. And then working towards 2-star, that's where you can really start making that income. That's where you can really start bringing in enough money that you can actually think about maybe leaving your job. That's where you can start making an income that's not just based on challenge pack sales or retail, but more based on cycle bonus, and it's more consistent. So then you can start telling people that's the goal, right? I'm helping you get to diamond, and the importance of that is that I'm showing you how to run your business. And then have push groups. We're doing one right now, 2-star push group. Have weekly status reports. Check in with your coaches. Check in with those coaches like weekly. Check in with those coaches monthly. Have a call. Have a Zoom call. Ask them how they're doing. Figure out what's next for them. Create a culture of advancement by recognizing. You guys, at the beginning of the year, I remember Meg and Dominique and I sitting at a table at Coffee by Design, and we were saying what used to work for us. And then we initially just started off with recognition was really working for us to help people get into Success Club. And for the next few months, we blew that up because we were recognizing people. And when people start seeing other people promoting and making Success Club constantly and being recognized in the page, it starts lifting everybody. So you want to make sure that you're recognizing even the stepping stones that your coaches are doing, even if it's not diamond. And I noticed a few of you doing this lately too, really well. So just putting it in there, like signed another coach, so proud of her, made another point, that's amazing. Those sorts of things are going to keep your people going, recognizing them. All right, and then setting dates with them for their goals, not just letting it go, not just saying, oh, that's great. Looking at things and really reverse engineering them with them and saying, this is what you need to get what you want. Questions? That's it. How do I stop? There we go. Katie, I don't sneak it. I do it at my desk. Yeah, that was me when I worked for someone else too. I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm allowed on Facebook all day anyway. That project can wait. The other thing that I wanted to do, guys, just like as a little bonus, was tell you about this, but I know we're already over by like 7 minutes. So I think I'll just take a photo of it and then try to like explain it to you in a post. But I think it's a really good promotional plan for through December into January for Transform 20 that can really help us blow up our business for that. And that's all I got for you. Any other questions? Or are you snoring? All right. Have a good night, guys.